Hello, and welcome to the Media Copilot, a podcast and newsletter all about how generative AI is changing the media, journalism, and the news. Your hosts are Peter Paschal and John Biggs, two tech journalists and entrepreneurs currently exploring the intersection of journalism and AI. Every week, they'll talk about the latest news in the AI industry with a focus on what it means to report and create content in a world that is rapidly changing.
Welcome to the Media Copilot podcast. I'm John Biggs. So today on the show, we have Siggi Arnason, and you have a brand new product that actually made a lot of waves in Iceland. So you're calling us from Iceland, which was really cool. You're saying it's freezing cold out there. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So your product is OverTune,
Right.
and you were able to essentially mimic voices and faces for video, and that led to a really interesting thing in the Icelandic parliament. So why don't you talk to me about the product, how it works, and what happened?
Yeah, I mean, what we do essentially is that we allow everyone to write in speech, you sync on top with real-time vocal effects, and then you can share the music. So it's basically a super accessible music creation platform. What happened last year is that we got this grant from the Icelandic government to make this speech-to-song AI grant, So we were fiddling with that tech in-house, and then we saw this tweet by Grimes the other year that, she was going to make, AI voices, based on her voice, and we thought, can we just use our tech to, mimic Donald Trump or Eric Cartman or Barack Obama or whatever, and we did it as a beginning, almost like a joke, to put it as a feature into the app, but that, blew up, and we got a lot of proteus based on that as well. We worked with a global artist called Joji, managed by Idiot Rising. He's an Asian artist that was touring America, and he wanted a Barack Obama AI voice for his live skit, so we just made that for him, and that made a lot of headlines, But most of all, we are a music creation company. So the National Broadcasting Station of Iceland heard about our AI capabilities, and they had this show every year called I guess it would translate to National Lampoons or something like that. It's like a comedy show by the end of the year, and so they make fun of whatever happened in Iceland that year, and they asked us if we could make this AI video music skit. They wanted to bring a lot of Icelanders to life. They wanted to make deceased people sing. They wanted to have union leaders, ex-president, and people that would never show up in a music video like this. And so we did, and they asked us also to do the faces, which is not our core capability, but we have a maniac CTO that basically did it, and launched this on New Year's Eve, and it basically put the nation on fire, because people were mostly shocked to see this deceased, beloved Icelandic comedian Hermann Gunnarsson come to life, and his family just goes bananas and goes into the media, and that ends up being in every talk show, on every media channel, every newspaper. So it's just filled with AI articles, and yesterday the Parliament is. Comes out with this requirement to speed up an AI bill, the first one on the planet, to have a special Icelandic AI bill to go through the Parliament. So it's been a roller coaster ride for the past 3 weeks.
So you wrote 90% of the Icelandic population has seen this. So
yeah,
I don't know what the number is now. It's not that high, but that's still that's the vast majority of everybody on the island, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, think of us as a small town that just goes wild over AI. Just because we are so small, I mean, we are under 400,000 people that live in Iceland, but still, just imagine the whole society just crumbling over AI. I mean, technology that, people understand it in Silicon Valley and tech societies, but in Iceland, it's just a new word basically, and people don't know what it is, and they see this Batman come to life, it's almost like being in a theater type of a thing. Just people became quite shocked.
So tell me what happened with this comedian. You said the comedian's family was very upset?
Yeah, so we asked the National Broadcasting Station to have all of the right permits from the family. And as you understand, it's a big family, and there are a lot of people in it. And and they got some permits from his children, as I understand, but it was not communicated within the family. So his close relatives went to the media that didn't know apparently of this, and were quite vocal about the act. Thought it wasn't that tasteful.
And is the comedian still alive or no?
No, he has been dead for the last 10 years. So that's that's a controversy.
So yeah, so you brought him back to life, and you put him with Bjork, and you put him with
Right.
the Iceland's billionaire.
Yeah, we also put the Iceland's ex-president on a tricycle, so like face swapped it with her kid, and it was quite funny. You have to see the skit. It's quite a funny skit.
Yeah, we'll share it with the audience. So what was the main issue? What are people complaining about when this happened?
It's just ethical questions. Is it ethical to do this? This is a deceased person that has no saying in it. Although you can get permits from whoever, the tech is so real. It just hits you in the face, and people are just genuinely shocked. But the family then took it back somewhat and said that there was no communication, and in the end it's okay. But people are just genuinely scared about this technology. I mean, can you do this to a politician, to deepfake whatever message he might say or whatever? It's just it goes much further than this isolated comedy skit.
What do you think is the result of this? Is there anything that changes in Iceland?
Possibly an AI bill, possibly a bill that says that you can't do this, and that this will never happen again, at least not in the format we did it. We are really lucky that we did it with the National Broadcasting Station. They have all of the data, and it's a media company run by the government, basically. So it's an interesting thing. We are not just a startup making a stunt. It's a startup making a stunt with the government. So it's let's put it in a little bit different perspective. It's like we were been testing the internet with the Icelandic postal company or something in 1993 or whatever. It's for a whole nation. It's a pretty interesting moment.
Yeah. And what's been some of the other complaints? I mean, the ethics question is there, but has anybody complained that you used people's likeness without paying them? Has any of that happened? Has anybody complained about misinformation?
No, not really, because this is a typical parody show. So this falls under parody. So what happens in the show is that we have actors playing politicians or whatever without any licenses or anything like that, without any permit. And this is not an isolated music video skit broadcast out of that. It's within this bracket, which is part of the show. So no one has complained to us, personally. There is no one at least publicly come forth and said, I didn't like that you voice cloned me or whatever. It's been only this deceased comedian that has been getting most of the headlines. But from the university and the Minister of Data and all of that they just have general concerns over the issue.
Yeah, what's the Parliament saying about this?
The Pirate Party here. It's called the Pirate Party.
Yep. I remember those guys.
They're speeding up an AI bill. We actually spoke with them. We just took the meeting and we gave them our advice. We said we don't really have a dog in this race. We are a music creation company. It just happens to be that we have assisted AI voice models that we intend to sell in the future, not now. We are not making any money off this. We didn't get paid by the National Broadcasting Station. We are just happy to help. So from a PR standpoint, our company has really gotten well out of this. I mean, we have been mentioned countless of times in the Parliament of Iceland. I don't know of any Icelandic company, tech company at least, that has been
of course
in this role.
Does this make you and the company rethink the way you're using AI? Especially in the context of music, especially in the context of music creation, right? This is a creative effort.
No, I mean, So personally, like me and AI, it's the same with the internet and all the tech hypes that have been coming up, NFTs and VR and metaverse or like whatever. Also just sometimes great systems and great tools to amplify a good product, but it's not really the product itself. We are more interested in how the users use a product, like what is the end value. And other than the assisted voice models with AI, that has been quite good. We are not always we are not rethinking on any use of AI. We are just good where we are.
Mm-hmm. What do you think there will be a place for AI in music creation?
Yeah, I mean, we are doing it with voice models. There is a difference between generative AI and like assistive AI. And if you're saying generative AI, that's like generates from like older data into something new. And I think, I'm not a big believer in that. It's like, I don't know, do you know the toy company Lego?
Yeah, of course.
We play with Lego. Yeah, I don't know if generative Lego would work. You would like press a button and like a Barbie Mordor Lego castle would come out or like whatever, it is the creative process that makes you want to play with Legos. And it's the same with music. It's not a one shot solution. Maybe with meditation music or ambient music or whatever, it works like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've used tools that give me either like a full like a chord progression, or they give me arpeggios, or they give me access to things that I, as a fairly substandard musician, don't have access to it, and my brain at the very least. So to be able to have that is pretty cool. But what it sounds like you're saying is that creative process can't be hijacked by the AI.
No, then just music in this sense that you are like describing just becomes a utility, and then it's a utility product, and that's okay. I think it's awesome that we have more music tech companies now, on the market, and I just think it's so many generative AI music companies out there that do basically the same and have the same purpose. I mean, if you want some background music for your podcast or whatever, it's serves its purpose and it's good. But
if you're making art, it's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, at least in our case, it doesn't work just to have a generative AI music, just like music creation. It's there's a different story.
So where do you think your story ends with the Parliament, with the arguments? Are you guys the catalyst for this, and then you kind of drop out of the race, or will you continue exploring this?
We are having so much fun doing this. It's so much fun. I mean, you can imagine being a tech company in Iceland. There's just have been here. It's X amount of things to do here, and then you make a music video skit, and it just blows up the nation, and Parliament goes into it, and the story seems to never stop. We always think, okay, now the new story is done, because this comedy show usually survives like 48 hours after it's like on TV. It's like people go on Twitter and say it was awesome or like it was bad, but now this skit has just continued and continued, and I can see ourselves just go ourselves into the Parliament and just speak to the Parliament, and why not?
Yeah, that's wild.
You never know.
All right, well, that's fascinating that you kind of stumbled into to an AI hornet's nest. And it's pretty cool that you're still like, yeah, AI is cool, but it's not art, which I think is kind of vital.
Yeah, I mean, we always want the same things as humans. We want, food and sex and security and love and acceptance and all of this. And tech just amplifies or like speeds up that process. If you look at from the 7 deadly sins or something, we have greed and wrath and sloth and lust and all of this. And some companies, fulfill that need and use the internet or use whatever, systems to do it. It's just the same with AI. The humans never change. We just become slightly smarter, just slightly, and tech just goes really fast. And like we always say, is AI it? Is NFTs it? The humans are it. We are basically it. We are doing it, with our fingers most often. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just interested in that.
All right, Siggi, this has been amazing. So the site is called overtune.com. You can try the music creation software there. And we'll put a link to this crazy clip. Maybe we can blow it up in America and have everybody excited about it here.
Let's make it viral. I'm game.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us. This has been Media Copilot. I'm John Biggs. We'll see you next week.